Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. And today it's a real pleasure for me to taste this Bushmills, 30 years of age, 46% ABV. Yeah, a really masterpiece, very rare and unfortunately very expensive. So here in Europe, it's 1,998 euros, and dollars is quite the same, and pounds, the conversion factor is close to 1. Yeah, the Bushmills distillery is, well, they name themselves the oldest distillery in the world because in the area or in the county where Bushmills resides, was granted its license in 1608. So this is early 17th century, very early, and therefore they claim to be the oldest distillery in the world, and or whiskey distillery in the world. And it took quite some years until Bushmills was able to deliver really old bottles. Well, for a very long time, the 21 years old was the oldest whiskey available, and the demand for this whiskey was that high that even younger whiskies were very expensive. And well, they increased production, increased prices so that the demand dropped a little bit, and they were able to keep casks for longer, so that we now have a 30-year-old Bushmills available. And here it's a very special bottle, a very valuable box. So it's a perfect gift. And here the story is written on the label. The village of Bushmills is home to the old Bushmills distillery. Official records date to 1608, as I said, when the area was granted its license to distill. Over 400 years later, whiskey is still being made in Bushmills thanks to experience and craft passed down from generation to generation. The specialty with this whiskey is not only that it's 30 years old, but how they created it with the cask they have. And here they write it on the label. After resting in bourbon and sherry barrels, this unique single malt was recasked in Pedro Ximénez sherry cask, resulting in a whiskey of rare depth and complexity. So these Pedro Ximénez sherry casks are special sherry casks where the sherry isn't allowed to ferment completely, so that all sugar from the grapes is converted to alcohol. No, they stop it earlier, so that there is a residual sugar in the wine. And to reach the final strength of the sherry, 20% alcohol by volume, they add brandy to it. So you have a wine which is not completely fermented, so they have residual sugar, and to get this strength up to a fortified wine, you add brandy from the same grapes in the best case, to add it to 20%, then put it in the cask, and this 20% with the sherry acts on the wood and infuses all those tastes and characters of the sherry into the wood, and then you refill whiskey in it, and the even higher alcohol content from the distillation sucks out all those sherry aromas. And Bushmills single malt whiskies are produced on 3 stills after each other, wash still, intermediate still, spirit still, so that there is a very high alcoholic content and very smooth alcohol. And this acts now with the sherry aroma and the oak from the casks, so that you have a domination of the cask and of the sherry. That's my suggestion. Probably I may be wrong, but we just see it. So hefty, it's a metallic stopper. Yeah, a little sherry note on it, but I was very careful with the card box, and so the cork wasn't wet, really. So here we go with this wonderful bottle. It's a very thick bottom, so it stands very good, and it's heavy. So if you present it as a gift, it's valuable, it's heavy, it presents itself. So this has a overwhelming aroma, a sweet, overwhelming aroma from resins, figs, plums, dates. This is sherry at its best. And in the aftertaste, not in the aftertaste, in the back of the aroma, there is a aromatic note, probably already from the oak, 30 years in oak, and some cloves. Yeah. So this is the perfect bottle for Christmas. If you have oranges, put cloves in it, and it smells from orange peel and cloves together. Yeah. Very complex, very round, welcoming, no sharp edges. Yeah. Cheers. Mm-hmm. Again, a sweet texture of dates and figs combined with an oakiness, a welcoming, friendly oakiness. No bitterness, together with an orange note, candied oranges. And in the aftertaste, a little drier. Now the oak made its appearance, and it's silky in the aftertaste with a light, dry aftertaste from these oranges. The casking of this whiskey was very special. They matured it for 14 years in Oloroso sherry butts and ex-bourbon casks. And this is for 14 years. And then 16 years in a first fill Pedro Ximénez sherry cask for the finishing process. So I think the first sherry butts and bourbon casks might have been refill because it's not overwhelming with casks. It's a wonderful balance. So it's not bitter, it's welcoming, well sipping, and some Christmas bakery in this aroma. Mm-hmm. So this is really a valuable whiskey. Well, it's expensive enough, so not a whiskey for every year, but who is able to afford it is really rewarded. Yeah, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned. There's more to come.